Zane Clodfelter with Evansville starting pitcher Tyler Vale. Tyler, are you excited for He Is For Everyone night on Friday, August 13th?
Of course.
Where can you find tickets?
Actually, you can find them at your local public library.
And they're free. Join us Friday, August 13th, post-game fireworks sponsored by Indiana 811. Zane Clodfelter, Preston, Leinenbach, OttersTV. Our series wrap up Evansville losing 2 of 3 to Southern Illinois to start an important stretch. Preston at home, where the Otters have 12 home games and 15 opportunities to play. And it was a really interesting series, 2 playoff caliber teams, but in the long run, it was just Evansville falling a little bit short there in that series.
Yeah, just a little bit short. Unlike the last week when Southern Illinois came to town, Evansville was able to capitalize on the mistakes that Southern Illinois made last week. This time around, Evansville had a few miscues. I think there's no denying that, and Southern Illinois was able to take care of their business by taking advantage of Evansville's miscues in this series to take the series. And there's no doubt about it, these two teams will still see each other in Marion a couple more times. And nonetheless, kind of a nice, I guess, competitive series both ways, like we would expect nonetheless when these two teams meet up here late in August, and it just kind of felt like it had a little elevated magnitude to it going into the series and coming out of it.
Yeah, Tim Holdgrafer pitched, I thought, really well. He only gave up 1 earned run in his start on Tuesday. Just a tough loss there. Braden Scott, I thought, pitched well on Wednesday, kept the team in it for the Otters to have the late heroics. And then Polo Portela had a couple of rough spots, but overall you have to be impressed with him as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key, is 3 guys, arguably the 3 best guys, 1, 2, 3 in the rotation, going out and at least giving Evansville a chance, giving them a chance to keep it close, and as we saw in Wednesday night's game, to come from behind and win. So that's what you ask of your starters, is to give you at least a decent outing. Don't have to be a perfect shutout or anything like that every time. Just keep it close and give the team a chance.
Wednesday, all seemed lost. The Otters were down 6-3 late, and then they had an amazing rally that led to a walk-off win there in the 10th.
And that's, again, expecting nonetheless from this Evansville team, they continue to fight, never hang their heads, continue to root each other on, pump each other up, even when things are not going well, just to continue to fight and battle those last few innings and grind it out. In the last 3 innings, or the most important winning time of the game, and fight till the end.
You mentioned some of the mistakes, and we saw, I think, a crucial mistake in the 8th inning with an Otters batter, or an Otters base runner, and Miles Gordon getting picked off, and then Andretti Cordero follows with a 2-run bomb. Had Gordon not been picked off, instead of a 2-run bomb that ties it at 3, suddenly Evansville would have had a 4-3 advantage, only 3 outs away. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I know that's not how baseball works, but you kind of think back to that. The Otters, you mentioned, had chances, but then Anthony Brocato on Thursday for Southern Illinois, he had 2 bombs, his 11th though of the season in extras. That was the big dagger.
And again, for him, we know what kind of power hitter he is, and he hit that second one basically to center field, which is a hard thing to do here at this ballpark, is to hit it basically, again, near dead center, a little slightly left. And for him, you always got to pitch carefully to him, but again, it's just a matter of, I think for Southern Illinois, they kind of felt like maybe this was kind of a must-win series for them, where they're standing in the standings, considering there's less than a month left of the season now, and for them it was an important series to take.
Yeah, and the Otters, luckily for them, they get to stay at home. Real quick before we move ahead, Ryan Brown called all 3 games with Bill McCune on the Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live TV. Ryan, what'd you see?
A tough series. It's nice to see the club battle back in a couple of those, tying 2 games in a row in the 8th. However, don't want to fall behind as early as you did. Good starting pitching, but Tuesday night is probably going to sit with you for a little bit. Quick, showered off well, get back at it tomorrow against Lake Erie.
Yeah, and the Otters had leads early in these games, and then sometimes the bullpen. It's hard, especially with the heat. A lot of these guys are not from Southern Indiana. They're not used to the heat and humidity, and you can say that for the Otters players, and you can say that for the opposition as well. Sometimes weather becomes a factor in it too.
Especially the humidity. I mean, these guys come from a lot of states, especially California, Arizona, Florida, where they have the heat, they have the high temperatures, they just don't have the humidity and the kind of heavy, dense air that just sits on top of you, and that is something that players kind of have to adjust to. Is we're kind of starting to see now at this point in the season where BP kind of becomes optional, cage work becomes optional, just to make sure that these guys aren't putting out extra energy and effort during the middle of the afternoon and in the middle of the beating sun. So it's something where, that's another thing they got to think about.
And an important thing to remember for Evansville as we go into the weekend series with Lake Erie, the Otters are still in first place because the Florence Yaws lost on Thursday. Florence does it weird. I remember when I first started with the Evansville Otters in 2011, they would do the no game on Tuesday and an automatic doubleheader on Wednesday with the single game Thursday. The Florence Yaws have done that. They did it with the Otters back in the early 2010s. They're still doing it occasionally, so they did that this week. So they had a doubleheader on Wednesday. They did lose tonight, though, so the Otters in the standings, one game better, but you got to remember the tiebreaker, though, that Evansville has.
Yes.
So in theory, 2 games.
That's right. Evansville owns the season tiebreaker with the head-to-head record. You brought up the kind of the interesting schedule loop for Florence. They got to do that one more time before the end of the season with their homestand. Also of note, going into Friday's series opener against Lake Erie, they're coming off of a doubleheader at home against Washington, and then they got to travel all the way here to Evansville. So, kind of just an interesting thing. It's one thing traveling overnight, as Evansville did a couple weeks ago, from Evansville to Lake Erie, playing one game, but they are coming off of a doubleheader. Be interested to see how they plan out their weekend.
Yeah, and especially with pitching, too, because I always hated when the Otters would have those automatic Wednesday doubleheaders because that impacts the starting rotation on your pitching staff. And Florence, you're going to have to kind of keep an eye on that because they're having these built-in doubleheaders. You don't want to have doubleheaders, at least I don't think you do, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, but the pitching will have to keep an eye on that. But a really fun week coming up. One, it's Ryan Brown's farewell weekend, so any exciting promotions for that? There's fireworks, 2 of the nights.
2 firework nights for Ryan Brown on Friday and Saturday. Of course, Friday, the series opener, ES for Everyone night. We're expecting a near capacity crowd as we have in years past with ES for Everyone night. Lots of raffle giveaways in between innings. Other fun activities on the concourse, coloring contests, live music from our DJ. DJ McNaughty.
DJ McNaughty will be in the house, and the fireworks courtesy of our friends at Indiana 811. And if one fireworks show isn't good enough for you, Breast Cancer Awareness Night on Saturday.
Got the pink themed jerseys rather, and post game fireworks show. So it should be a fun weekend. And finish it out with another Dog Days this summer.
A special thank you to Marathon and IV Tech Foundation because they're the ones sponsoring that fireworks show on Saturday. And as Preston mentioned, the Dog Days this summer were on Sunday. Special start time, right, for the rest of the year.
That's right. And from now on, Sunday home games. I think there's only 3 of them on the schedule at this point. 12:35 starts, no more 5:05. Remember, 12:35 starts on Sunday afternoon home games at Bosse Field.
So go to church and then bring your Otters stuff with you in a small bag, and then after church, hurry and change in the bathroom and then get to the ballpark, right?
I mean, you just wear your Otter stuff for church. I mean, I think they'll understand, right?
Jesus will understand indeed. So it's going to be a fun weekend at the ballpark. Tickets Friday might be limited, but go ahead and call Trevor at the ticket office at 812-435-8686 and see if there's any field box seats available for Friday, but then Saturday and Sunday, tickets at EvansvilleOtters.com.
That's exactly right.
All righty, well, we look forward to seeing you at the ballpark. It's at the home stretch, so if you're wanting to catch an Otters game,
better do it now.
Yeah, and listen to Ryan Brown. Now would be the time. So for Ryan Brown filming, East Preston Leinenbach, I'm Zane Clodfelter. This has been OttersTV.
Hi, Evansville Mayor Lloyd Winnicky inviting you and your family to E is for Everyone night at historic Bosse Field this Friday night. You'll see the first place Evansville Otters, all kinds of prizes available, and fireworks after the game brought to you by Indiana 811.
I'm pitcher Tyler Vale, and you can pick up your free tickets at your Evansville Public Library.